going on, ladies and gentlemen? Right behind me we have some Rough Country lights. So I reached out to Rough Country and they sent me a light bar and a bunch of fog lights we're going to install on the Ford Raptor. And we're going to do a 100% honest review on them. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. If these are crap, they're crap. But good Lord, they look good. So what happened to the last lights I had? I made a bad mistake and used tire shine on the outside of them to get the black plastic to start looking good because it was starting to look dull. And the tire shine actually etched the plastic lenses. They were already going bad. They were starting to crack and get humidity inside of them. And those were just Amazon specials. Today we got some quality lights at a good price too. I cannot wait to put these things on. Let's stop the talking and let's get into the step-by-step on how to install a light bar and the fog lights. Before the rest of this video plays out, just wanted to let y'all know, regardless if you're just installing the fog lights themselves or you're also installing the grill light like I am, I'd still recommend following the same steps as far as, taking the grill off, because there's a lot more room you have to work with, especially when it comes to routing the wires, and it's not much work just to take the grill off. I'll put some timestamps up, that way you can just skip around if you're just installing the fog lights. But regardless, it's a cool video. Recommend you watch it all the way through, especially if you're installing that light bar. I've got everything laid out and I'm trying to get this wiring under control since there's going to be a bunch of wires. They come from Rough Country with this little switch, and we're gonna cut away everything that we don't need. So you should be left with something that looks like this. Like I said, you got your ground, power, your ambers right here. The Ford Raptor comes with switches and relays that you can connect this to no problem and not have to use the ones that come with the kit. All right, I've got all of them connected, which I'm gonna undo eventually. Obviously over there going to town on that bone. And we are going to connect all of the blues together, all of the whites together, and all of the blacks together. So here's the mess we got. I've already crimped all these together. There's about 6 wires going into each of these. It's gonna be my ground right here. I ended up cutting this little piece off from this scrap over here. Gonna connect to one switch. This is gonna connect to another. Maverick, do you mind? All right, and so I've taped these all together. This is 3 going this way and 3 going that way, so it makes it nice and simple for whenever I'm ready to install them. Now we're gonna figure out the wiring for this. So all we gotta do is cut this piece right here. There we go. It's gonna be our positive and our negative in here, just 2 wires for this section. And the rest of that, which is just a little fuse block, a trigger switch, go in the scrap pile. We're gonna go back to the scrap pile and borrow another one of these for the ground. Set this end up with a butt connector. That way we can hook it on to one of our pre-outs. Here we are. We got the ground connected and we got this end ready to be connected to one of the pre-outs. That pretty much concludes it today. I'll see y'all in the morning. We'll start taking the front end off the Raptor. It's gonna be super simple. All we gotta do is take off the grill. That shouldn't take too long, so we'll see y'all then. All right guys, as you can tell, it is morning and we're gonna go ahead and get started with the grill light. What it says to get started on is taking the front, disassemble the front grill and whatnot, and I got the instructions right here. Let's get started. All right, so the first thing we gotta do is pop the hood. Get the hood popped. Make sure we got a good camera angle. We need to remove these push pins. All right, now that all this is loose, you can simply just take it off. And once you've done that, you got 2 more push pins on either side. All right, and then you can pull these away from your headlight. I'll remove that one too. All right. Now we need to remove these bolts, and we need to remove this little plastic piece right here, this little cover. Go. We also need to go and undo these connectors. Said we also need to undo these connectors. There we go. There it is. 3, 2, 1. Our extension, use our 8mm socket to remove that. Just let it drop. Got it. I've got it sitting right there, and I'm going to take it inside to install the grill light on it. All right, so we need to remove these rivets right here. Also need to remove these too, huh? These push pins right here. Now these are the kind of push pins you're gonna be faced on the other side. What you wanna do is either with one of these tools or a flathead screwdriver. See how it sinks in like that? You're gonna pry that up first and then you'll be able to push it out. You got 4 of those. Seems to be another sneaky little bolt right here. Alright, 3, 2, 1. There we go. So we got some wires that are wanting to stay attached. There we go. Easy does it. Boom. Easy. We need that. Light bar is going to go on this side. Something like that. These are going to connect. That side, and not exactly sure if this is the right way to do it, but I like to put it like this first, and then through the bracket, and then the washer ring, and then this. I'm sure it may be supposed to be different, but that's the way I do it. Tighten them up like all the way, quite yet. Probably gonna need the help of the impact to get these through, since those holes are a bit small. This is the side that the washers will go on. All right, now we should be able to attach the shutter system to the grill. Boom. Real quick, if you guys are running the same issue that I am, where you have a situation that looks like this, all you need to do is they're not screwed on there super tight. Grab this end just like that. Well, you got your impact just like that. And yeah, unscrew it. And then what you can do is you can screw these into that little plastic piece, and these, once you set the shroud back on it, will poke through the little holes, and then you can screw those on after. That'll make it a lot easier. So yeah, you can take these little clips out and then you can screw them back in, and You should be able to just slide them in just like that. Here we are. That thing looks good. So we're gonna get into running these wires before we put the grill back on. We got the grill off, of course, to put the light bar on, but even if you're not installing a light bar, I still highly recommend taking the grill off. That way you can run these wires up under all these covers right here and have it look really good instead of wires being all over the place. I'm gonna try to keep it out of the way as much as possible. So I need to find out exactly which wire from the pre-outs go to what. So I'm gonna strip these down and plug them into one of the lights and go ahead and ground it. And we're gonna find out exactly what colors go to which switch. The ground that we're gonna be using is right here. That's the ground we're gonna be using. So I'm gonna take that off, unbolt it, and go ahead and put both of our grounds on. Grounds are connected. Okay, so green is switch 1. As you can see, the light is lighted up. Turns out the white is actually going to be our amber color. Okay, so the white colored one is going to be our number 3 switch. So that means our brown and blue is going to be number 2. So we've got all that figured out. Now we can crimp everything up. I'm going to have the ambers on number 1, the whites on switch 2, and the light bar on switch 3. Let's do it. Everything right here is all crimped on. All we got to do is heat shrink all this stuff down to make it watertight, and then we can put some loom over all this, try to make it look a little bit better. So far, this is what we got. Everything looks nice, grounds are connected, wires are run. This wire is run through here for the time being. These ones running through down here. And I'm gonna find a way to tape this excess off with some zip ties. There's a whole bunch of excess for this right side, for this left side. We got just about enough. May have to, tie it off a little bit, something like that. But we're gonna go ahead and install these fog lights before we install that light bar and grill. That way we don't run into any issues as far as fitment and excess wires. Yeah, let's do it. Same thing with the last installation. We are going to pretty much follow these instructions step by step. And whenever you order a set like this, you'll get this exact paper. I recommend following this a lot more than you're following me. But without further ado, let's do it. Step 1 is to screw in these brackets. There's a hole pre-drilled up here and right here. You want to use a washer on this side because those holes are kind of big and that nut can fall in it. So you do need to use the washer on this side, and on this side it's just you can see the bolts right there, and you're going to be using these bolts, not these bolts. We need to put on the hardware for the lights themselves. That way we can actually just bolt them on Don't make the same mistake I did. Here is the correct bracket you'll be using. It's a lot more simple. Here is the wrong bracket. This is the standard ones that comes with these, the one size fits all, I guess, but these are the ones specifically meant for the Raptor kit. So use these. There we go. They're not all centered right yet. I still have them a little bit loose. I'm gonna tighten them all up once I shine them at this wall at night and get them all leveled how I want them. Guys, make sure y'all are using the right brackets, because I used the wrong brackets on this side and they are way too low. So I ended up having to take them off and putting on the right brackets that came in this box. I just didn't double check. Make sure y'all double check and get the right ones. So this is kind of what we're working with right here. About time to put that grill back on. Got these wires kind of tucked away back there. And the last thing we're gonna do is level all these lights out completely. All right, there it is. As far as wiring goes, it is all wired up. That's what it looks like down there. It's a little bit of a bird's nest, but it's kind of hard to tell. So, truck is started up. Aux 1, boom, there we go. That is what we like to see. All right, guys, we are out here at nighttime right now. This is just the headlights. Let's do high beams. So they look like. Let's turn those off. And this is how I've got the fog lights. Oh, that's the ambers. There we go. As you can see, huge difference I can actually see on either side of me now. Before, after. That's pretty cool. Let's see if I can turn the headlights off just to see exactly what all it illuminates. Yeah, there we go. All right. Well, that's a lot. And now this is the light bar. Boom. Look at that. Nothing. Boom. Boom. You can just see everything. I mean, that's a lot. Flip the lights back on, you can hardly even tell. If I just showed y'all this, y'all think it's daytime outside. Jesus. I'm using the phone right now as a shield. Holy cow. I mean, that's with brights on, that's with lights down there, and that light bar. That light bar is ridiculous. I mean, that's shining all the way back there at those trees. Wow. Yeah, that just looks like the sun rising. No exception at all. Let's go do some off-road. I gotta say, I feel much more comfortable off-roading at night now that I can see what I'm about to hit. I feel much more in control. I could probably hit some stuff at some speed too, with the distance that I can see in front of me. Can clearly see that's a big old dip. Slow it on down. There's nothing I can complain about at all. Whoa, holy shoot. Do it. Oh. I swear when I have the suspension stiff like this, the faster I hit stuff, the less wobble I have. Feels like I'm more in control the faster I go. Here's another little comparison. That's just the fog lights. That's with the light bar. That's my brights. I got some bright brights. This is a Raptor. Raptor's got some bright brights. Boom. And let's see, no lights and ambers. So the ambers are pretty decent. I mean, you can definitely tell they're on. They're more, I think Rough Country calls them a daytime running light anyway. So not really meant to be bright. More just for looks. Which with the Raptor having the amber DRLs and the amber DRLs and the fog lights, you know, they just match. So I feel like that's pretty cool. I feel like it looks killer too. I need to get some shots of that in the daytime. All right, see y'all later. Guys, thank y'all for tuning in. It means so much to me, the support on this channel, and I promise to do a full review on these lights as well as that light up there coming up in the near future. So thanks again. Many more awesome videos on the way. Thank y'all. Peace.